This is one of the legendary sounds of Mexico City. Damn, this feels good. This feels good. Mexicans are really resourceful with everyday objects, you know? Anyway, I'm Paul, an English guy, showing you Mexico through my eyes. You get used to the huge guns, by the way, and today I'm going to be talking about words people use in Mexico that sound funny, rude, or both to the ears of native English speakers. When I first arrived on this land, yes, some new words did make me laugh a lot, and still make me laugh to this day. And the first Mexican word that makes me laugh as an English guy is one where I first need to make an apology. If your name is Lupis, a common female name in the adult population of Mexico, I don't mean to cause offense or be responsible for light workplace bullying that might come your way. Anyway, let me explain. If I ever have a daughter here and her mum says, "Let's name her after my grandmother, Lupis," my answer will be, "Oh, mi querida, don't even go there." Because when an English guy hears those two sounds, loo and piss, these images appear in his brain. Because in British English, it's really common to call a toilet the loo. And piss, I think most of us know that one, number one action if you follow my drift. Again, apologies if your name is Lupis. It's still a lovely and beautiful name, just not in England, unfortunately. I've been watching this guy. Someone needs to tell him that they're electric. And the next word, very common in Mexico, that sounds funny and rude to my English ears, is again one where a Mexican word sounds like an English slang word. Now, I'm outside what is perhaps the most impressive 7-Eleven I've ever seen anywhere in the world. Inside the 7-Eleven, they of course sell numerous products from the huge Mexican baking company Bimbo, such as Bimbonuelos. Now, if you are from the UK, I think you already know where I'm going with this, because the word bimbo has a very different meaning where I'm from, and it's not a good meaning. It really isn't a nice word. In fact, it's sexist. Let's go to the Wikipedia page for the word bimbo. Here is what it says. Bimbo is slang referring to an attractive but unintelligent woman. Oh, and scroll down the page and the Mexican version of the word bimbo appears. So yeah, bimbo. Two words that appear in both Mexico and the UK with totally different meanings. But anyway, whatever, because I never buy bimbo bread anyway. As subscribers know, I'm more of a pan man kind of guy. And if I do have the need to buy bread from an airtight bag, well, I'm a Tio, so something from Tia Rosa would be my first choice. Check this out, another one of these adapted bikes like in my last video. This time it's the beer delivery man, looks like Modelo. Anyway, this guy is another true Mexico legend. Gracias, patron. And the next Mexican word that is funny and rude for me is more about intonation of that word. How do I explain this? In Mexico, you might ask someone if they would like a coffee, for example, or it's like in a situation when you could be asking to do something for that person. And in Mexico, you might get a reply like this. No. Let's hear that again. No. And when I first arrived to Mexico and started hearing Mexicans replying to me with that, nah, I was thinking, well, you, I won't be asking you again. But seriously, I know it must have been a cultural thing. In the UK, and I think in all English-speaking countries, that kind of dismissive intonation when saying no sounds really rude and inconsiderate. Now I'm sure there are situations in Mexico when that kind of no also sounds rude. However, Mexicans do use that kind of no just as a way to say no thank you, and they are not being rude. But still, whenever I hear it, I do have a giggle to myself. And for the next word that makes me giggle, I'm going to give you one word today, which is the other way around. A word that is common in the English language that sounds funny for Mexicans. And it's actually the male name Gordon. Let me say it in a way Mexicans might laugh at when they say it, Gordon. Now if you don't know, gordo means to be fat in Spanish. But it gets funnier because one of the many suffixes that Mexicans add to words is on. The on sound has a feeling of intensification of someone's traits. For example, a woman you really like and is so great, you might call her a mujeron. So the male name Gordon, just so funny for Mexicans. And by the way, before we move on to the final word, remember you can help translate this video so more people can enjoy it using a link I have put in the description of this video. Check this out. This is one of the legendary sounds of Mexico City. The bin men are coming. Hey, look what I've got. Damn, this feels good. This feels good. And the final word that for me personally sounds funny for me in Mexico is the word reunión. I'll explain why it's funny for me in a moment. Now, we have the same word in English, and it's even spelled in the same way, but without the accent mark, of course. Now this is, as many of you know, is what is known as a false friend in language learning. A word that looks the same as a word in your native language, but has a very different usage. Now, this word in Spanish is used more generally than in English. It can be used for appointments, gatherings, meetings, things like that. But in English, the meaning is very specific. Like this dog here being reunited with its owner after a long time. That is a feeling of a reunion in English. And when I first arrived in Mexico City and saw these signs, this is one from just earlier if you noticed, I was like, what's this? It looked funny for me, and still does sometimes, to be honest. And of course, I soon realized that this is where people inside a building, such as an office, should meet in case of an earthquake evacuation. So yeah, this word has a very different usage in Mexico. Check out this pro. Bigger camera than mine, bigger tripod than mine. But I bet he doesn't have the best fans on YouTube because you are all awesome. Anyway, I'm getting out of here now. If you enjoyed this True Mexico episode, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're new here, why not click on one of my videos on the screen there and subscribe. As always, a special thank you to my patrons on Patreon. And to my patrons, remember, if you download the Patreon app, you can watch my daily video clips. Anyway, I'm Paul. This is True Mexico. Hasta luego.